5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Hey folks, and welcome to the brand new podcast. This is episode 1 of In the Booth. I decided to do this brand new audio experience or podcast experience in conjunction with what I'm doing on YouTube because so many people consume my content on YouTube now. Well, I should say it's growing. We've added over 100 new subscribers on the YouTube channel in less than a month. But I know that a lot of people can't really consume video the same way they can consume audio. When you're, listening to an audio podcast, you can do your workout, you can, take your dog for a walk, you can tune your wife out, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? So what I wanted to do was do a podcast now, and I'm cutting back on my YouTube video production, except for I'm going to make sure that every Thursday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, I'm going to be doing a live stream on the YouTube channel. Make sure that you click the link in the description of this podcast. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I'm telling you, you got to go over there and take a look at what I've got. I've got tons of video over there that really show the brand new, the up-and-coming voiceover artist that's looking to start, build, and grow a successful voiceover career, how to do what they need to do. The response to the YouTube channel has been amazing since I really launched it back on May 5th, or was it April 5th? April 5th, no, it was May 5th. And it has just really started to grow like gangbusters. But in this particular podcast, we're going to be talking about those things that you as a brand new and up-and-coming voiceover artist need to know. Now, one of the great things that has happened over literally the past 2 weeks, as I've been doing what many of you have already come to discover, my free 15-minute consultation for all of you that are looking to start, build, and grow your voiceover career. In the past 2 weeks, I've done close to 50 consultations, and I tell you what, I've learned a tremendous amount. But let me tell you what is really coming to the forefront for me in regards to the number of people that I talk to and the things that can continue to happen or reveal themselves over and over and over again as I do this. You guys really need to start employing way more patience than you have in regards to how long you've been doing this. I mean, I talk to people that have been in for a month, 3 months, and they're wondering why they haven't gotten any work yet. And let me just tell you, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. When it comes to your voiceover career, if you're not in this for the long haul, if you're looking for some sort of quick turnaround, and, looking to blow up overnight because you signed up on voices.com or voices123 or whatever, let me just tell you, as I had to come to this realization myself, it just does not happen that way. It just doesn't. This takes time and a lot of work. Through talking to, I forgot to turn my phone off, through talking to so many different ones of you over the past 2 weeks or so while I've been doing this free consultation. By the way, if you would like your free consultation, all you have to do, there's probably a link in the description, but if you go to my main website, which is stepstovoiceoversuccess.com, you can definitely set that up. But through doing these different consultations, over the past few weeks here, the energy that I'm getting from many of you is really good. I can see that a lot of folks are really excited, but then again, some folks are kind of, they're kind of depressed because they think they should be somewhere in their voiceover career right now at this point that they're not. So let me give you these few tips that I think is really going to help the situation in regards to what it is that you should expect in your voiceover career, how you should see it mapping itself out so that you don't get discouraged. And by the way, if you're not putting in some serious effort, you're not going to get serious results. Now, what do I mean by serious efforts? I mean, when I talk to people in these 15-minute consultations that I have, I discover when I listen to them that there's, in many cases, there's really not a lot of work going into this. There's really not. They've signed up. Some of them have signed up on sites like Fiverr, Upwork. They've signed up on Voices123, Voices.com, and they've been engaged half-heartedly in the effort. Now, what do I mean by half-heartedly? If, let's say you're looking to build a clientele in VoiceOver, if you're not, doing upwards of 20 auditions a day, if you're on these different sites, 20 to 50 auditions a day, if you're trying to send out emails and you're sending out, 1 or 2 emails, you need to up that to about 100 emails a day. Now, I'm not telling you something I haven't done myself, but when it comes into this, if you're not committing significant hours into building your voiceover career, it's not going to be built. And let me encourage you by saying this: the work that you do today is going to be what brings you results 30 to 60 days from now. Point blank. And that's when you start gauging, okay, I'm putting in this amount of work. This is how many responses I'm getting. This is how many jobs I'm getting. And the key thing here is, how many jobs are you getting? When you get to that point, then you have to take a look back and say, okay, what did I do to actually get that job? How many emails did I send out? How many auditions did I do? How many proposals did I write on the different freelance sites that are out there? How well did I engage with them on the freelance sites to see about getting that work? What happens so many times, I think people set up like a free account on voices.com, or they set up an account on a freelance site, and they sit back and they think people are supposed to come to them. Let me open your eyes here. No one cares about you. If you can get that in your head, that no one cares about you, and that the people that are going to win in this thing called voiceover are the ones that are going to work or are working the hardest. The reason that I've achieved what I've achieved in my career in voiceover is because, frankly, I'm outworking most people. I do this thing a lot. If you've seen, I encourage you to check out a YouTube video, which was my story and my full reveal. And it kind of shows my daily routine, what I do every day. And people are blown away by that when they hear it or they see it on YouTube. But it's definitely a video I think you should check out. The level of work that you're putting into voiceover needs to be upped, probably by 1,000%. Until you get to the point where you're looking to do this thing, sun up to sundown, and really commit to the efforts that are, the tactics and the strategies that are involved with building your voiceover career. If you're just doing it for 30 minutes a day or an hour a week, it's not going to happen. And with all of that being said, when I listen to the people talk about their experience in voiceover and what their expectations are, there's something that's really, really quite disturbing. And I'm going to try to articulate this the best way that I can. What I sense from so many people is that they're looking for one thing that is going to be the thing that blows up their voiceover career. They are looking for a course. They're looking for a class. They're looking for a video or something that is going to be the key. Like the only thing that you have to do in order to build your voiceover career. They're not looking for what they ought to be looking for, which is, how much work do I actually need to do? Where do I need to go? What is it that I need to build up? Like I was saying before, how many emails do I need to send a day? How many, Twitter posts? How many, how many DMs do I need to be sending on Instagram or Twitter? How many Facebook posts do I need to be doing? How much do I need to be engaged? I'm telling you right now, moving forward in the future, when it comes to building your voiceover career, the cost of entry comes down to a few things, but employing some really, really smart tactics and strategies with them. Your cost to entry is social media content, auditions, and understanding your equipment. This is your cost of entry. If you're trying to start off where someone is that is making, 6 figures or more in voiceover, it's not where you start. You start where you can start. If you don't have a, $1,200 mic, you've got a $50 mic, you start there. So where do you start? You start on the freelance sites that are out there. You try and build up that resume. You do auditions. You sit there and record in your recording software mock-ups or, fake reads that you have to do. You can download them just about anywhere on the net. Just look up voiceover scripts and you're going to get a ton of free ones. You've got to put in the practice. You've got to put in the work. Let me tell you this. Your microphone is not your saving grace. Don't care how much money you spend on it. Your DAW is not your saving grace. No matter how much you spend on the software for recording your voice. The cost of entry is simply what I said. And until you understand that the work that is involved with building a voiceover career is not something that you can half-ass. It's something that you have to commit to each and every day and execute on. Many of you listen to, whether it's this podcast or watch my YouTube videos or watch other YouTube videos or podcasts from other voiceover coaches or voiceover artists or whatever, there comes a point, hopefully there will come a point, where you're not listening to me anymore, where you're not listening to them anymore. But you've taken the strategies and the tips that you've been given for free on the internet, online, on YouTube, on Facebook, on iTunes, wherever you're listening or watching. There comes a point where you've got to take the information that you have and start deploying it. And I don't mean for a week. I don't mean for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month. You have to pick 1 or 2 core tactics and strategies that you're going to commit to for the next year. And commit to them each and every day. I said earlier, this is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And those that put in the most work are the ones that are going to win. Because of the internet and the low bar to entry into anything, many of us are flooding in. And because of that, those of us that work the hardest are going to be the ones that are going to win. I hope that this has made some sense to you. I want you to definitely go ahead and subscribe to this podcast. You can probably link up with it on iTunes as well as Google Play or right here on Spreaker where I'm creating this podcast. I want you to connect with me. I'll be producing content here probably 2 times a week. And then in addition to that, every Thursday, doing my live stream, which is going to be Q&A based on my YouTube channel, which you can link up to right in the description of this particular audio that you're listening to. And I know some of you are probably hearing this on YouTube right now. Make sure that you click the link in the description to go over to Spreaker and subscribe to the podcast so that you get notified instantly when it comes out. You can download it to whatever device you're utilizing to listen to this or whatever. But make sure you leave me your comments, leave me your questions. And if you have a specific question, you can always email me at earlhallvo@gmail.com. Make sure that you put in the description or the subject line, VO question. This is my first podcast episode for this particular podcast, In the Booth with Earl Hall. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you guys real soon. You take care.